Hello, welcome to this week's Private Funds Update. I'm Sandra from SmartEsq. On behalf of the SmartEsq team, I wish you a happy Valentine's Day, a relaxing President's Day, and for those who celebrate, a prosperous Lunar New Year of the Horse. As usual, let me tell you what I learned this week. We begin with a marked shift in regulatory philosophy at the SEC. On February 3, 2026, Brian Daly, Director of the Division of Investment Management, delivered a keynote that outlined a new regulatory posture focused on constructive dialogue rather than regulation by enforcement. The substance here is a pivot on artificial intelligence. While the previous administration focused almost exclusively on AI washing and enforcement, Daly signaled that the SEC's 2026 term will prioritize helping firms integrate AI into investment management. The agency is looking to foster innovation in algorithmic trading and back-office efficiency, provided firms maintain robust governance and clear disclosures. For private fund managers, this suggests a more permissive environment for tech adoption, with the SEC acting more as a gatekeeper of transparency than a barrier to technological progress. Next, the Institutional Limited Partners Association, or ILPA, is moving to standardize the most contentious corner of the secondaries market. In early February 2026, ILPA released its Continuation Fund Disclosure Template, a direct response to LP frustration over GP-led transactions. The substance of the template addresses three primary friction points: valuation, conflicts of interest, and the roll or sell timeline. It mandates clear disclosure of the GP's economic interest in the new vehicle, the rationale for the transaction versus a third-party sale, and a standardized breakdown of fees and carry. This transparency is designed to solve the 20-day window problem, where LPs are often forced to make complex decisions under extreme time pressure. For GPs, adopting this template might reduce deal friction and, ironically, lead to more rollovers by providing the status quo data LPs have long demanded. Turning to the markets, the CFTC is asserting its territory. On February 9th, the agency signaled imminent rulemaking to codify event contracts, better known as prediction markets, as federally regulated financial instruments. This is a high-stakes jurisdictional battle. The CFTC is currently fighting several states in court that want to regulate these markets as gambling. For hedge funds and macro desks, this rulemaking is vital. Federal oversight provides the institutional-grade framework needed to trade these markets at scale. It opens the door to institutional-grade policy hedging, allowing funds to take regulated positions on interest rate decisions or geopolitical events without running afoul of state gaming commissions. Finally, a major legislative win for the alternative investment industry. In early February 2026, the House passed a bipartisan bill to reform the Financial Stability Oversight Council, or FSOC. The bill, which was immediately welcomed by industry groups such as the MFA and ICI, codifies the activities-based approach to systemic risk. It effectively prevents the FSOC from designating a private fund manager as a systemically important financial institution, SIFI, based solely on its size. Historically, a SIFI designation meant bank-like capital requirements and intrusive Fed oversight, and has been dreaded by the private fund industry. In particular, private credit funds and hedge funds, whose investment strategy could be considered similar to the banks. This reform shifts the focus toward de-designation and requires the FSOC to provide a clear off-ramp for firms to address risks before being labeled too big to fail. For the largest hedge funds and PE firms, the threat of being regulated like a global bank just moved several steps further away. That's it for this week. You can learn more about these topics from me on the SmartEsq platform. If you are curious about the services we offer, please visit www.smartesq.ai.